I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it.
What?
Get some help.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You blew it!
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into Hatewatch. I am SithLordFelix with the always awesome, always genius, Mr. Valentine. How are you?
Very well. I wouldn't say genius, but I appreciate that you did.
I was just grasping at adjectives and, and cool descriptive nouns here. So, but Indiana Jones, man.
Indiana fucking Jones.
Where are we with Indiana Jones?
Where are we indeed?
We've talked about
Especially-
5.
right,
a
with the
bit.
new one coming out. Right. Where are we with this fucking franchise?
No, I'm not excited. Who is this movie for?
I mean, I'm not sure. From what I hear about the reviews, not us. Not us. I'll say that. It's not for us.
Like, I think they're banking on, because this is going to sound weird, and maybe I'm wrong, but Star Wars and Indiana Jones, for sure there's a crossover in the fan base.
Yeah, that
You
whole
know-
Spielberg, Lucas, Jaws, fucking Indiana Jones, Star Wars, E.T.
They've just spent the last, 10 years shitting all over Star Wars. And, who are they expecting to show up now? You know what I mean? Who in their right mind is going to want to pay money to see this? And there are people who are like, I'll give it a shot. And I get it, especially people who want to review it, especially for their channel and stuff like that. That's part of the reason why I kind of want to go. And it is really strictly to shit on it, expecting not to like it. My expectation is low. If I get flipped on it, and listen, anybody who's been here for all these episodes so far knows that, if anything, I am very forgiving of movies.
Absolutely.
It was so easy to please. It's called Hatewatch for Valentine, all right? Because this motherfucker hates movies, okay? He hates less than good movies. There's no the running joke I said is either A, B, or F. There's no there's no D, there's no C plus minus, there's no nothing.
No.
It's either A, B. If it's not a B, then fuck you, it's an F. It's a 1, or if it was 1 out of 10, it'd be 1 or 8, 9, or 10. That's it. There's no other numbers exist.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, and me, I am way, way more forgiving. If you can entertain me, you don't have to be a perfect movie. I understand that it's a hard craft, getting the right director, right cast of characters, right story, right filming, right cinematography, right music. Everything has to be a perfect storm to be able to create a masterpiece.
Pretty much.
It is, and I can only imagine how bad of a movie I would make if I ever attempted to make one. How bad it would be, cringy. So
Why do you say that?
Because I have zero experience behind the camera. That's one.
Doesn't matter. Here's where it lacks for what these motherfuckers in Hollywood need to get back to.
Okay.
Write a good script.
Writing a good script is not the easiest thing in the world. And here's the other thing too.
I'm not saying it is.
How many scripts get buried? How many good scripts get buried in the abyss that would never see the light of day on top of that?
What a shame. Right. And you know why? It's because you got these candy asses out there that then want to make it fluff. They want to make it all visual. They want to sell you on the, what do they call it? Nothing burgers? Whatever these kids say. It's a big fat nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger, yeah.
And here's something about the Irish you may not know. We don't have, and I'm half Italian, we don't have, but the Irish especially, no time for nonsense. None. Yes, we eat the language. We love word and wordplay and good stuff and good visual. And I'm down with fantasy. I'm down with expanding my what do they call that? Disbelief. You got to hold your disbelief, whatever it is.
Yeah. Suspension of disbelief. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, I got no time for the malarkey. If you're gonna give me a shit script, if you're gonna insult me to my face, I'm gonna piss all over your movie.
And once you pull him out of his suspension of disbelief, he will not give it back.
You can hold my suspension of disbelief.
No, they say when you take it away, when you take it away, and I think a bad script will do that, or like a woke line, like I'll tell you, the Batman.
That's an excellent point, because you're right, it will.
The Batman was a kind of a slog, the new one with Matt Reeves. I'm not a giant fan of it, but
it's a third.
When Catwoman looks at Batwoman, Batman, and says something along the lines of, "We got to stop all these white privilege assholes," immediately sucked me out of the movie. And I was in the theater, and there was a lot of people in the theater going, "Oh!" You just heard like this a whole fucking theater doing that, man. And I'm like, thank God.
Wow.
People
and
are
you're
like,
not even a white guy. You know what I mean?
No, I'm Cuban, B.
Yes,
I'm Cuban B.
Right.
And when me and you first became friends, Chuck, I was fucking left of Lenin. I was big lefty libtard. I used to try to pitch you the race swapping shit that I thought it was. Oh, I get why they do it. All just dumb shit, man, that I used to believe.
Yeah, and I tell you opened my eyes to a lot of different shit that maybe I was being a little too ignorant about. So there was like a balance, that I feel like we were bringing to each other at first,
Sure.
Now we're just on the same side.
Now we're on the same page because
same page. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, because the libtards lost their mind and lost me, which is like, but we're getting into politics with,
Yeah,
but there's a reason, because it infected this fucking franchise.
Exactly.
It infected this
Hollywood in general, right? And Hollywood in general, like you said, 10 years shitting on Star Wars. You weren't wrong,
Yes. And I brought this up before. This is kind of a recurring theme. My big problem with this new one coming out, Dial of Destiny, is that they're undoing the whole Spear of Destiny, and it's supposed to be about the spear going into Jesus' side, and that's supposed to be the holy relic. And now this is a spoiler that I've heard. Okay, So you've been warned. So yeah, apparently the Spear of Destiny is in the movie, but it's a fake relic, fake powers, no power.
Oh, so
no nothing.
Then they're getting away.
It's like a big misdirect.
Because even the first Indiana Jones was about the Covenant, the
Ark of the Covenant. That's right. Yeah. The Ark of the Covenant. Temple of Doom was Kali and the Stones. And I don't feel like that breaks anything. I don't feel like that breaks the world.
It doesn't.
It does not. Not even in the slightest. And all right. And then again, then you go on to Last Crusade.
I'll even go one step further. Sorry, not to cut you off. But I'll even go one step further in how it doesn't break that first original vibe, because what's Indy doing with the Temple of Doom? He's taken down the satanic, heart-ripping out, child labor abusing cult. Right.
That's right.
And what's more anti-God than a Satanist cult?
Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, it comes back to Indy being like, on this quest for being
there's something. Yeah, there's just something. There was that layer of. It's so beautiful, man. It's like, because I don't really see that anymore, especially from action franchises. Where these holy relics. Maybe a lot of movies. I miss a lot of movies, because once I cling on to a franchise, I pretty much know what I like.
You mean cling on?
Yeah. Like once I latch on, I'll fucking, I kind of stay in that world. You know what I mean? Like I repeat.
Sure, we want to enjoy it. Right. Yeah. We want to love it. And as kids, we did love it.
Yeah, and like this is kind of goes into Kingdom of Crystal Skull, which is the movie that we're going to be watching today. I know we're just talking about the franchise in general, and we'll touch on this other topic momentarily.
Yeah, because you liked part 3 more than I did too.
I love part 3. It's it could be my favorite, but I go back and forth. yeah, went out to it now, but that German chick though, I just gotta say, she was the hottest
very
one.
Pretty. And once I got past the her introduction, the staleness of her introduction,
it makes all the sense in the world. It kind of ties in.
Did, yeah. Just to give the audience, if anybody's watching, I recently watched part 3, and I straight up hated the first 45, 50 minutes of it. I only accept part 3 from the second half and on, where it picked up, as
and
a movie.
The way it ended was perfect. Riding off into the sunset with his dad and Marcus, right? There goes my memory, or whoever it was. Yeah,
Marcus,
but they
right.
right. They end up going off into the sunset, and it really was a great movie. Yeah, well, at least great way to end the franchise, even if you don't. Like
I feel like
half.
It was a good movie with a strong ending, a strong second. The second half brought it right back.
I'll scale it back.
I'm not sure which episode we did, but I was telling you how I did not like the River Phoenix opening at all.
I loved it.
Larry and Curly beginning.
I know, I was all about that shit. Especially as a kid, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get little Indy Junior show, all that dumb shit, which would have been bad. Thank God we didn't get. We got some sort of indie show, right?
They did attempt a young indie thing. Nah. Went right over my head. Plus, at that time, I was already into sports and guitars and girls. So you weren't going to get me on some spin-off show on a movie that even then I didn't like,
Right. So
even River Phoenix, and great actor, great kid actor. He did a good job, but it was just written, I think, so poorly, so slapsticky, so on the nose. You know what I mean? Of what a young Indy, and his fat friend, Indy. If you remember the movie, if you remember the movie, you know who I'm making fun of.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah. Shit, man. The first
waste of a fucking River Phoenix.
Disagree, man. I thought he looked like Indiana Jones. On top of that, I thought that was a perfect casting. He looks like a young Harrison Ford in a way, in the nose and the face.
Yeah, I hear you, but like I said earlier, you are not going to get me on a visual alone.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just stepping all over you. No. I got a few whiskeys in me, so.
Oh yeah. I know. I'm so jealous. Yeah. So jealous. I wish I had I have a couple of beers and that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you need. Cheers, all you need. I'm an extra, yeah.
So before we get started on the movie, you were bringing up this thing. You asked me about this Indiana Jones underage Marion controversy.
Yes. Have you heard about that before I text you? Because it was the first time I heard it, so I text you right away.
Well, yeah.
Supposedly, because there's a lot of rumor surrounding Steven Spielberg as being a that's not me. Yeah. That's what's going around. Okay.
Yeah, and I've only heard
you have the right to at least discuss it. Right? We could discuss it, right?
Yeah, we could. Dude. First off, this is going on Patreon for the most part, and who gives a shit? I mean, but yeah. Listen, we're first off, we're speculating here. Let's just be very clear.
We're not even speculating. We're just talking about other people
speculating. That's actually a very good point, because especially in the case of it makes all the sense in the world, because especially even with Spielberg. With Spielberg, I haven't seen much, or I haven't seen much evidence. Same thing with like Tom Hanks. I mean, Tom Hanks kind of go back and forth on.
Me too, and that would break my heart if it was true. I hope not.
Yeah, but again, that's like, some of it seems like a bit of a reach, but I mean, it all comes down to who's on certain people's flight logs and how many times they've been back and forth. So I have to like revisit that, like who's on what list. So
even then, I will not condemn someone guilty just because they were
there,
associating or flying on this thing. Right, exactly. Like that still, to me, in my world, doesn't prove that they were guilty of doing something horrible or, you know.
And I think I don't know if we've said it in a previous show or if we've said this in private, as like, I'll give you the first trip because you may not know what's going on there.
Right,
but
right.
When you're on there 26 fucking times on that log, man.
Well, more than three. More than three.
Yeah, right. There's
what
something
that guy's
going on
about at that time. Yeah.
So
Anthony Kiedis, same thing. This is the lead singer to the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
How many trips?
I don't know. All I know is that motherfucker Anthony Kiedis is on the flight log. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And the Chili Peppers, to me, was my Kiss. I missed Kiss. I love Kiss now, but I missed it. I wasn't there for the 70s. We're 80s kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the Chili Peppers to me was so larger than life with the Dayglow paint and the fucking
the funky music and they were badass, man. They were one of those groups.
Absolutely, and they're still a powerhouse. But I will 100%, if I'm being honest, once I learned that Anthony Kiedis' name was on that flight log, I'm just like, I don't know. Listening to their new records don't hit the same. I can't get past it. But I will not say he's a guilty child molester. No, you can't. And I'll give Spielberg and Tom Hanks the same leniency, you know.
Yeah. And we got to talk about other tricks that they've done, like, especially when you have like a 15 or 16-year-old that's like made up and dressed up like a Disney princess and all that shit. Where it's unbelievable. Like, even a
20-year-old, go look at a 20-year-old on the street. You're gonna tell me you don't see a baby face? Technically they're legal. Even men, even growing up in the neighborhood back in Coney Island and Brooklyn, you would hear some of these older guys. You would hear like, "Oh, look at these high school girls." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you talking about, high school girls? They're baby faces.
Right. Yeah, like once you get into high school or whatever, but I think when you get into like girls that have been passed around at a very young age for a long time, they look older, and it's not a compliment. Just to be clear, that's actually like you see a lot of that fucking you see the abuse, ageism.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then you put them in a scenario where it's a rich, glitzy party and they're wearing like $1,000 outfit and they're mingling with other people. Sure, they may look young, but I don't think automatically you're going to assume there's anything illegal going on. And this is a trick that he would do, is that he would get these people in these situations. And I'm talking about Effrey Jefferson.
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah. Like he would get these people in these situations where they're hooking up with these girls, not knowing what their age is. They're not having that conversation. And then they find out after the fact. This is all speculation. All right. Yeah. Obviously, I got to keep saying that shit because absolutely. I don't know.
I don't know, and I'm not accusing, right? But I feel like we have the right to question as much as anybody.
And it's so weird we got a pussyfoot around it, but so like there's some crazy tricks like that. Now it gets a lot darker than that, but the reason we're bringing this up to kind of let's steer it back. Let me opie this in the right direction.
Did you ever see the movie Raging Bull?
Yeah, but only once and forever ago. But
okay, it's a great movie. And real quick, there's just a scene where Jake LaMotta, De Niro's character, Jake LaMotta, he's playing the real
boxer,
person, boxer, is in a nightclub, and there's some young girls in the club, and they're drinking, they're hanging out, and blah 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 blah, and then they cut to the next scene, and the next scene is a couple of FBI agents knocking on his door, being like, "Oh, do you know these two girls?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I mean, I know I've seen them around the club, blah, blah, blah." He was like, "Do you know that this one's 14 and this one's 15, that you introduced to some men?" Like, what do you mean? I introduced you to some men. Like, I didn't know. They're all dolled up. They're looking like they're 20-something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand what you mean, about that basically entrapment.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
not really. That's not the right word. Entrapment's not the right word.
It's not the right word, but it's.
But,
I mean, it essentially leads to blackmail. So because once you do the deed, you know what I mean. You're on the hook, and that's it. That's all it took.
That's it. Yep.
That's all it took, man. But
And that movie, I only brought that up because that scene was so he went to jail. They arrested Jake LaMotta, you know what I mean? And for that very reason, he had underage girls in his club drinking, and he, you know, it was like, you know, not that he was passing them around, but, you know, they might have gotten diddled.
Yeah.
And they're underage.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess I don't know is there a better segue?
Perfect segue.
Right. So, I mean, seriously, fuck this article. This is from December 23rd, 2022. Indiana Jones is famous for his adventures and his romance with Marion Ravenwood. The former makes him epic, but the latter makes him a creep.
Wow. See, I just heard about this the other day because getting back to Spielberg specifically, I don't know if this article is saying this, but they were saying how, like, you know, how the Shmulminati will put shit in your face. You know what I mean? They hide things in plain sight kind of thing. And the article I saw was saying that in the original script, Spielberg purposely put in that Marion, when first hooking up with Indy, was underage. Now, let's see if this article goes there. And if
right, so I'm kind of skipping ahead. I'm not going to read this whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm a little low. I'm not wording it right.
We'll talk about it
because I'm trying to tiptoe around it. But you know,
we're
what
a little
saying.
effed up right now. No, I get you. We're no.
A few shots,
I'm a beer and a half
into
in.
the wind.
I took an Eddie earlier, so you know that's going to be kicking in soon.
Nice.
So, all right. So let me read here. So Marion and Indy never had the simplest relationship. They met in 1925 while she and Abner were hunting the Ark of the Covenant. Unfortunately for Abner, Indy wooed Marion. So 1925 isn't just the beginning of their professional relationship. It's where the romance begins. After about a decade, Marion is met with the return of Indy. One can assume that the years between 25 and 36 had little to no interaction between the two. Indy essentially ghosted her while their adventures took them in different directions. After some unfortunate Indy-related circumstances left Marion without a job. This would be followed by years of following him across the world as his exploration partner. No one gives a shit about all this. She's kidnapped plenty of times throughout their adventures. Okay.
Why are they even
Marion had
bringing
never
all that
returned to
shit
Indiana
into?
Jones. Yeah, they actually reunite at some point and nearly get married. Unfortunately, he gets cold feet before the wedding. That would have taken place in the 1930s. Why? Oh, yo, this is such a boring article. Aside from both Indy and Marion having tendencies to leave randomly, their relationship is problematic. Marion's appearance in Raiders of the Lost Ark reveals she's 25 years old. So if the clock is turned back a bit to the point Marion and Indiana meet, she's about 15 or 16 years old and a decade younger than Harrison Ford's Indy. As mentioned, Indy woos her shortly after their meeting, and they seemingly begin a romantic relationship. That is undoubtedly an extremely inappropriate dynamic. Okay. Talk to me. What do you think?
I was going to ask you the same thing. What do you think?
I think it's a crock of shit, personally. All right. So, like, it was definitely different times back then, especially during Indy's times, you know. This type of relationship wasn't like turned away. Like, I don't know. What's the best phrase? Wasn't sneered at as it is today, or it wasn't, you know, looked at the same way. Frowned upon. Thank you. Jeez, I couldn't even think of that. Yeah, it wasn't as frowned upon as it was today. Here's the other thing too. Indy woos her shortly after their meeting. They seemingly begin a romantic relationship. Nowhere is it confirmed that it was sexual.
Right, or that it was sexual when she was that age, just because they met and were involved, and Indy was working with her father that doesn't mean that when she was like 19 or 20 that maybe they hooked up. And like you said, that was way less frowned upon in the 20s and 30s, you know, which is that world. That's the Indiana Jones world, is around that time.
Yeah. All right. So he goes, while some fans of Indy may argue that he was unaware, the script points to the opposite. For starters, he knew that Marion was the young daughter of his former mentor, Abel. He should have had some understanding how old she was from his relationship. During one of the reunion scenes, there's a bit of a spat. The argument even has furious Marion yelling, I was a child, I was in love, it was wrong, and you knew it. The response to the statement by Indy is sickening and points the blame at Marion. You knew what you were doing. It's made clear that Indiana Jones isn't much of a hero. Like, go fuck yourself. All right, so yeah, again, I mean, I don't know. Did he bang around and then leave? I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest.
I mean, because I was a kid, so maybe that shit went right over my head.
Can we just point out the difference how me and you were talking about how fucking Jar Jar Binks might have been the Dark Lord of the Sith, and this is the fucking bullshit that these tards focus on? Well, if you do the math, 56, they probably didn't even think about the age gap in the writing process. That's probably number one.
Yeah.
And it was like something, it was a throwaway line, and they didn't add it up, and then someone maybe reviewed was like, oh, dude, thank God it was 15, 16, and she wasn't 18. You know what I mean? It was like 8, 9 years old, because they didn't do the fucking math right in the writing room. They're treating this like this is a documentary, and like we should be bringing Indy up on charges or something. Like the way it's written. You know what I'm saying? Like, dumb fucking article. More than likely, it was like some overlooked. I don't know. It's like one of two things. It was like overlooked in the process, but also, I don't know. It was far more common back then. Sorry, Yeah, and I'm talking about before my time, because by my time we had our high school girls going out with the 20-year-old. Those are the ones you would see, like the 20-year-old with the car. You know what I mean? Like you'd see that very rarely, and that was frowned upon.
Mm-hmm. It was.
It's kind of like like the secret whenever you saw that happen. But
yeah.
So what do you think?
I didn't form an opinion. I just wanted to bring it up and see what.
Put me on a chopping block. I see.
Yeah, no, not to put you on the block or anything to be chopped, but I just thought it was interesting because of all the rumors around Spielberg, which there are. You know what I mean? That was this an intentional play where it's like, oh yeah, Indy was diddling this young underage girl, and whether it was the times or not, because even believe it or not, was it less frowned upon relationships? Like, yeah, it was. But even then, even going back way earlier than that, it was still kind of not cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, way back. But I mean, there's all right. So we're torn, but we got to also realize this was a different type of relationship. This wasn't Indiana Jones picking up a girl at the school to go make out at Lover's Point. You know what I mean? And then drop her off at the parents' house. This is, again, the mentor's daughter. There's a history there. They were on an adventure seeking the Ark of the Covenant. They're fictional fucking characters who didn't actually live these lives. Right. Again.
Exactly. That's why I thought it'd be fun to just to discuss.
No. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'm not mad at you. I'm definitely just especially with the articles. Like, that's such a weird. I don't know. What a weird fucking thing to focus on, man. Mm-hmm. And I think more tthan likely what it is that it was overlooked in the writing process. But even if it wasn't, I would say my second argument was it's just what it was. It's whatever. 15, 16 wasn't as frowned upon back in the day. And again, I'm talking about before our time.
Right,
yeah. It's like saying, like, well, I used to do it, now we're cutting it up. No, we did not. So, that's where I stand. I think it's a bullshit thing. It's just them trying to tear down a fucking movie because, they couldn't come up with their Indiana Jones. Stinky disagrees. No.
Yeah, you could hear them. Yeah, my neighbors are playing.
But that being said, let's get this fucking movie. Let's get this show on the road.
Roll tape, my friend. Let's see if any of us hates this on this hate watch.
Yeah. Are we gonna have issues with this? Oh, okay, good. It's actually starting. Whoa, we're gonna have this fucking problem again?
No.
Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Hold on. I might just open it through fucking. That's so weird. It's always an issue when we gotta run our shit.
Bastards. Downright dirty bastards.
Yeah. I gotta find it somewhere else now.
You know what? While you find it, I gotta take a piss break. So don't go no ways. I'm not going anywhere other than to the restroom. I'll be back in 2.
All right. Take your time.
Okay.
It's really trying not to fucking let me watch this shit. There you are. You know?
Sorry about that. You don't buy beer, you rent it.
That's a fact. No, don't feel bad. I'm trying to get this shit right here. There we go. Boom, boom. This is the StreamYard doing that shit or whatever it is. I hate this weird block that they're doing.
I know, and the first few times was so smooth. So for this to be happening now is just extra sucky.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. All right, so yeah, I own this fucking movie, so let me play it. Watch.
I own you.
wonder if I can download it, and then it's not a. Let me see. Sorry, I'm like clicking around trying to get it to work here.
Come on. It's a little Mike Tyson's Punch Out reference right there.
Yeah, right.
Last Joe used to come out, and if you weren't swinging, you'd be, come on. You remember that?
Black, 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 black,
Come on.
black, black, black. Woo! Then he knocked his ass out.
Exactly. Yep.
I remember that. All right, so let me see. Share screen. Okay.
My fat face and neck. I don't see anything.
I know, right?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, no, let's see if it actually starts and plays.
Yeah. Or if they're gonna blow it.
Nope. These motherfuckers. What the hell?
The fuck? Cut this part out.
Yeah, right. All right, hold on. I'm gonna switch over to a different one. All right, so you don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Woo!
Oh shit! That's what I think of this fucking movie.
Bad boys, oh, what you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do when they come for you?
All right. So,
I had to wipe my ass with this movie 3 times.
jeez, bro. Okay, so did you like it? No, no.
I loved it.
All right. So, damn. Listen. So,
Holy
just
shit!
to recap, you were on board for about half the movie, just about, maybe a little before the half mark.
You know what I was
happened.
Something happened in the Marty McFly manure 1950s fucking malt shop. Other than the one stunt where Indy was out of the car onto the bike, I was almost going for it, but right then and there, I was like, it's going downhill, and it steadily just fucking bombed right there from the fucking what's the move? Valley High? What the fuck was the town they were in fucking
Hill
Back
Valley.
to the Future? Yeah, that's it. Once it was in Hill Valley, I was like,
That's it.
I don't know. And
all right, and then once you the reveal that he was the son.
Yep, automatic 2 thumbs down. And then I didn't think it was gonna bomb as hard. Even still, then I was like, it's shit script. And then they just kept going and going. Everything from the ants, that fucking Rushki chick still being alive, the guy dropping the trackers. I was like, wow, what a fucking horrible movie. Wow.
What do you think of Shia LaBeouf?
I hated him. I would have like, yeah, I would have looked past some of his like real life stuff, but even him, that it was him that was taking me out. But I was like, no, it's 2008. Let me be cool. It's before he went off the rails, you know.
Yeah.
But the switchblade, the knife,
none of that shit bothered me. I think the movie was too long and boring. And yeah, towards the end, I was already dozing off. I'm like ready to call it a night just because of this fucking, you know. But yeah, like the Mutt didn't bother me. Marion didn't bother me.
Oh, you weren't bothered? Like when Marion was driving the tank and the fucking son, Shiloh the Dick, was fencing with the other chick, and he was like,
that was stupid.
He was like, all right, Ma.
Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, that was stupid. That whole seat, and then the CG monkeys going everywhere.
I almost forgot about the fucking monkeys. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, unless you're going to tell me Monkey Man, you had Ant-Man controlling the ants, and Monkey Man, what the fucking monkey's not going to tell you?
It felt like a 45-minute fucking chase scene. It was like, yo, dude. That's what it felt like. Oh my
it went
God.
on too long, and it was, wait, what the fucking monkey's doing? And then they get into the cave, and then the mole people come out of the walls, and now it's fucking Kalimar for a minute.
Yeah.
And then we're repeating that girl's face explodes. And I the only way I could accept it is if a face did explode, but that's just repeating the beats of the first one. When that one dude in all black was like, I gotta see the Covenant.
And his face just melts off and shit.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah. Damn.
Wow.
All right, man. Dude, all right. I am wrapping this. 1 out of 10. What do you give it?
A 0. What are you laughing at? Did we not just watch the same shit? Have you ever seen me pull out my ass and wipe my phone screen?
No, yeah.
So
it's just funny because it's like the previous movies have nowhere to go. Like you're equating this movie with like the previous. They all suck the same.
No, 1 and 2 are good. 3 is okay. And this one fucking sucked completely.
Man, all right. So I would actually give this a 5 out of 10. So
what? 5? What?
Well, 5 out of 10 is failing. If you remember school, it's still an F.
I don't remember school, and I graduated.
There you go.
So I don't know what school fucking you went to.
Yeah. So that's an F. 50. If you get a 50 on your paper, that's an F.
Yeah,
you get
fuck this fucking part.
This movie. Yeah. But there, like, I think I was also on board for the first half of the movie. And then I think like once Shia LaBeouf got introduced, everything was downhill from there.
It was right,
and yeah, but ironically, again, like even though I'm saying that, Shia LaBeouf wasn't the problem. It was like once he's introduced, everything going on around him, like whatever. Like like I said, everything was dragged out. All the action scenes were stretched out. Yeah, it's like they were trying to force feed him into these action scenes too. So
yeah, totally.
But like his acting and like his like banter with Indy with his mother, none of that bothered me. I thought that was fine. But what are you gonna do? So
that's where we differ, my friend.
Yeah, but no, actually, we're both kind of on the same page. You hated it way more than I did. This didn't affect. Like, I have a feeling Dial of Destiny is gonna be where I'm gonna be wiping my ass with the ticket. Like, if I go, like it'll be like, I'm
please,
done with
I hope so. I want to see you pull your ass out and wipe your face with it.
Is that right? Wow.
Why are you gay?
No.
Because of shit movies like this, they turn me fucking queer. I like stuff up my ass now because of this movie, and it's my phone screen or anything filming this, anything showing this movie goes right up my ass.
And we'll leave it there. No. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Hatewatch. This was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If if you'd be so kind, please just hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Patreon if you want to see the film in its entirety with us as we shit on it. But either way, thank you for stopping by, and we hope that you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Take care.
Yeah, and please comment. Please, somebody tell me they fucking hate this movie too.
Seriously. All right. Take care, guys. Peace.
Bye.